Hey, what's up everyone? It's Logan Nettles here, aka Jaberwocki. I'm going to be doing a video today of a Strixhaven Sealed. It's a preliminary event on Magic Online, 4 rounds, playing for qualifier points that can be used for mocks or PTQs. They're fairly competitive, people are trying to win. And I think this is a great format, so I don't know, I just had a little inspiration. I've been enjoying the format, and there's some pretty relevant events this weekend. There's the Arena Open and some Mox Showcase Opens, so I thought this would be cool. Maybe people could learn something. Basically my goal is to just talk through what goes on in my head while I'm building these seals and while I'm playing the games. And yeah, just I guess to just be informative. Maybe you can improve your sealed game a little bit, and maybe I can learn things from watching back my mistakes. So anyways, let's take a look here. I don't want to spend time on every single card, so obviously that's great. I like to take a peek at the rares before I dive into the colors. Ooh, Swords to Plowshare is nice. Alright, looks like white-black has got some promising rares going on. This format's interesting. It's kind of like a previous guild format where like 5 of the 2 color combinations are basically the viable ones. I found that sealed, you often splash a color, especially if you're playing green. Gotta read this card real quick. This is a basic card. Huh. Okay, that's like a huge cultivate. Okay. Alright, so white black looks good for the rares, but let's break it down here. Just spread things over a little bit. I kind of need to be quick here, so it actually might be tough, but alright, we got some good lessons. Team Pennant, I don't have much experience with. It seems good if it can work. Alright, I'm going to go through the gold. I really just don't have the time to talk through every single card, so hopefully, people actually have some experience in the format when they're watching this, and instead of, just are already familiar with the cards. I'm familiar with like 90% so far. Alright, blue-green actually looks good as far as gold goes. Okay, let's take a look at the individual colors. Okay, green's not super impressive. Red looks pretty weak too, pretty shallow. 2, 3. Okay. It's looking like a relatively tough pool to build right now. Just nothing's like jumping out as being something that I should obviously do in terms of color choices. 1, 2. Okay, Professor of Symbology is nice. So, and 4 Combat Professors. I like Combat Professor, but 4 is kind of nuts. So it's tricky because like I've got some white-black bombs, but black is a little shallow. White's pretty solid, but my Simic gold cards are best. I'm gonna take a look at white black here, see what we can throw together here. Put cards like this in for now. Those are relatively weak, but just, you know, we gotta get some things looked at. Already a quarter of the way through here. Okay, yeah, that's a card worth working for. These are all considerable too, and then we could look at like a splash. We've got this red-white land. I'm really not a big fan of Archway Commons, like, ever. It's just kind of unacceptably slow. Okay. I mean, just throwing all this in here, this looks like a playable deck already. Not a fan of like Stonerise Spirit. Dramatic Finale's got to be worth it. It's like, would be nice if I had some sacrifice kind of stuff. Well, I do have this actually. So this is pretty solid with the frogs and with eye twitch and stuff. So I am liking the look of this deck in general, if we can kind of clean it up a little bit. Beginning of combat, you may choose 2. This card's awesome, just like very tricky, very skill intensive. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do like these blue cards, but it's really shallow. And there's nothing like super bomby about Simic. It's just like solid. Whereas Orzhov gives us this. And I guess that's like essentially it for bombs, but still, that's a good one. So I want to complete this Orzhov deck and save it, and then I'll look at something else. I could splash red. Don't really think any other color is worth splashing, just because the land and the letter of acceptance. I don't want to like throw these in off a couple of islands. It's just not quality deck building. I mean, there's Blade Historian, but yeah, it's tricky. I don't know if that's worth the splash. Biblioplex, solid. I mean, and Show of Confidence is really not very impressive. Don't really have any lifelink going on. I like everything else that's going on. I do have this, but really don't like the Spirit because most of my creatures already have flying. It's just really weak, just being a 1/2 for 2. Don't like this guy, even though it does have some synergy here, especially the finale, but it's just a really weak card, I think. Little tricky. I don't want to spew too much time here. Let's see how much learn I've got. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good amount of learn. I do have this, so I could definitely splash. I think the Historian's got to be worth it. It's like really good with these guys. So even though it might be difficult to cast, I can make it happen. I also have this, by the way, which is just another small pull for me to play this. I think I'm going to play a white-black deck. Like, this is just a good deck. I just need to tighten it up a little bit. And then I do want to look at least look at my other alternatives. I mean, the Sloth is nice. I vote for the Sloth, just off the... I could play 1 mountain with the Sciences and this thing. And then I could throw in, like, another red. This card, it's... I don't know, this is a little narrow. Like, I just don't have a lot of instants and sorceries. And it really gums up my forward slot. I don't know, this is tough. What was taking advantage of +1/+1 counters? This. That's like it, right? Could play Team Pennant. Could definitely play Team Pennant. And what do I have? I got Spirit Summoning as a lesson. Could even choose this in some situations. I could play Letter of Acceptance. Really don't like the Novice. This card seems too weak. I'm just going to build the... Yeah, I'm just not going to play Simic for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, I don't think these cards are particularly good, really. They kind of look better than they are, in my opinion. I could definitely play, like, Simic splashing red, but I think it would just be worse. And just talking through the video, I just don't even have enough time to look at it. Like, basically, I'm just really satisfied with what I have going on here. I think it's quite strong. Oh yeah, so this has some synergy here, but just I don't know if it's enough. And I think this is just weak. Do you like Study Break? Ooh, I have this, right? Okay. Let's see. This is a solid lesson to have access to also. Could just play like 1 Team Pennant. Pretty weak though, not a big fan. I played it in a previous sealed and I was kind of underwhelmed. I think it's like specific to certain decks, but my deck's not particularly good for it, I think. Also have this as a lesson. And I do think this is a 17 lander. Like, I have learned stuff in environmental sciences, which could like convince you to play 16 lands, but I don't really have cards I love that, like, I'm not trying to cut cards really. I'm kind of trying to add cards. And you know, I've got scries, and so yeah, just a 17 lander. Okay, under 5 minutes now. I don't mind just taking the full time, and then we can just jump into round 1 right away. Defiant Strike is whatever. Don't really have experience with Essence Infusion, but it just, I mean, it could be okay. It just opens up the 2-for-1, obviously. And then Letter of Acceptance can help me cast this dude. But, I mean, it might just be worth just not playing this and not bothering with red at all. That's probably correct. And just not bothering with this. Yeah, let's not bother with the red. Because the mountain is a little awkward. And like, this is free, but I think I should, convincing myself I should just play this with the dramatic finale and the frogs. And I can like, and the eye twitch, and I can even check this, and yeah, that's kind of enough. A lot of 4-drops, which bugs me, but still. And I guess I should try this. It's like, it's solid on the Menace and on the Professors. So, Professor's Warning. Counter or Indestructible. I mean, it's solid. It's probably worth playing, honestly, now that I'm doing this. Okay. And I think this is good if I have more instants and sorceries where I can like reliably get to where I can reliably copy it, but it doesn't seem too impressive. This looks good here. I mean, there's also the Biblioplex, but I'm just so glutted on the 4s that I'm kind of not wanting to do that. This is also a reasonable filler, but I don't think I need it. Alright, we're down to 1 minute. I think I'm satisfied with just trying this out, and then let's print screen. Let's combine. I will play the campus, so 2 white, 1 black. Let's see, sort by color. Pretty even. So yeah, we got 9-9 this way. Alright, yeah, let's try this out. GLHF. I'm gonna paste my screenshot so I can refer to my deck during the games. Obviously, not a perfect hand, but good enough. The professors are just really sick, so I think this card's pretty sick too. I mean, it's just a mind rot, sort of, but I guess I played against it once and it was just really good against me, so maybe the exile thing puts it over the top. Alright. Just didn't cast the mind rot because I'm mentally defeated. This card's just gross, and I don't have anything to do about it. I expect to get this to get removed. But, you know. Far enough behind already that we'll cross our fingers and pray. Obviously I'm tilted that I just didn't cast my spell, but okay, so let's see. Can't really win, but I can try. Yeah, I think just distracting myself by talking just instantly punished me by not casting the Mind Rot, but at the same time, it's not going to make the difference. Okay. Well, our draw didn't cooperate. I don't regret keeping the hand, but draw didn't cooperate, then we compounded it by just not casting our spell. I think we were going to lose anyways, but still, it's time to change gears and try to play decent. Switch from the playing bad gear to the play decent gear. I think I'm going to leave as is. Think like I'm kind of susceptible to removal with this card, but like I'm already gluttoned on creatures and can definitely be a race, so I think I'm just going to leave it. I could throw in this card instead, but or like a team pennant. Maybe the spirit, actually. No, I'm going to stick with it. Because I can like cast this on this thing and force the opponent to cast a removal spell on it, and that's pretty good. So, alright. This hand's a lot more playable. We don't have to rely on the top of our deck. Let's try to play well here. Definitely Professor. I think I just get either the 3/2 or the Pests. Probably the 3/2. Do want the downside of the 3/2 is if they play a 2-power creature on their turn, but still, it also the upside is that it maximizes the amount of damage. They're just trying to cash in on their lifelink, perhaps. This game's looking good. Little bit of lag. Love it, love it. Love it. Okay. Sort of the best possible draw. Really good for our mana efficiency. And our hand is just gorgeous. Curious to see if like my YouTube video is gonna be glitched or if this is just a pure Magic Online lag. I think it's pure Magic Online lag, which has just been awful these days. The lag, I mean. I was gonna say out loud, I think the only way to come back is with a Wrath at this point. But, you know, at least we get our things back in hand. But now it's definitely a game, obviously. I still like my spot, though. I'm going to wait on my removal here because if they use their turn activating the Spectre, that's fine. This lag's just gross. Sure. What do you have, friend? I could learn first. I think not, though. Just because I could draw something that makes it complicated. Okay. This is tricky. So if I play this, put it on the Professor. I kind of want to play the Laureate. Because that's, yeah, I'm going to play the Laureate. It's lethal either way, so it's kind of the plan. And I don't want to put a counter on here and just make this a juicy removal target. And I could put a counter on here, but I don't know. That's just, you know, I guess maybe that was better actually. But it looks like we're gonna win either way. Shouldn't matter, but there's always a chance. We get the Annihilation to clear a flyer in case something dies. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of their deck. Something I recommend for when you get in tough spots in later games. Their deck's pretty strong. They've got the Wrath, they've got the 3/2 Witch, they've got some good value, so it's going to be tough. I think I want to get rid of this because it just opens me up too much to, like, they have this card, which is a blowout, and they've got the just hard removal. This card's just really weak too. Like, I don't want to play a Hill Giant on 4. It's just not going to cut it for me. So let's see. Maybe the 1/2 flyer just to block pests and like trade with the 2/1s. What else are options? The Biblioplex, the Cog. I don't love the expensive creatures because of my opponent having reasonable white-black removal. So that's out. I don't love this either, but I feel like it might be better than my other choices. Let's see. Don't love the Dueling Coach either, but what are you gonna do? Maybe Professor's Warning. It's weak, but yeah, I mean, it's a he's got the 4-mana sorcery removal, so it's like a reasonable like hexproof thing. I mean, you know what I mean, indestructible thing. Let's try that. It's close. He snapped it off. I think mulliganing definitely hurts in this Orzhov mirror because we are trading 1-for-1 a lot. But I also am missing black mana, and I'm missing like I would really like to have a Professor. I'm just missing sort of my best cards, I guess. So I think I'm going to throw it back, though it does hurt. If this were a swamp, I would keep for sure. But hand just kind of sucks, you know? It's just like a bad... It looks like my deck just sucks. So I think I can do better. I mean, it stings. But please, I just want a Professor. A Professor and a Plains. Okay. I'm going to keep this. When I say Professor, I mean the 2/1 Professor. And I think I'm going to put this back. I have 4 of these, so, you know, and I can't even cast it. I think my other cards are more important. Don't love my chances here with my opponent sneaping. Obviously boarded out the +2/+2 and lifelink for that. So do I want to block here? I really need, what's it called? Environmental sciences. But, they might just not attack. No, they will attack. Yeah, I'm not going to chump block right now. I'm also not going to trade. So I've got this thing. Planes. Thank you. Yeah, our draw just didn't cooperate. I just think it's over. I mean, at this point, I'm going to block. Feels bad. I would like to draw a land, please. An untapped land, please. Okay. Do have options here. So what are they doing? Maybe study break. I'm actually going to go here, because this is just hitting too hard if they disrupt what I'm doing. Looks like they have study break, I think. Okay, the secret color. So I could sack, but I think it's too important that I cast the Vanishing Verse. I'm wondering if there's a reason to do it now to avoid like them killing this and rebuying it or something. I think I'm gonna wait though, because if they have like this, they can just pwn me, and they might, unlikely, but they might like try to equip or something. So we're just trying to get stable here. Gross. Maybe I should have, yeah, it's okay. Let's say maybe I should have upkeeped, but just in case they drew this, but so if I had done it on my turn, they do this, and then they would have gotten to rebuy and cast it, so at least there's that. Okay, let's start with the Professor. Oh, I still need mana. That was a pretty savage play by them. Really need a land on my turn, I think, to have a shot in this game. I also should have represented the swords. Land, please. No land. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'd still like to draw land. God, that's just gross how bad that draw is. Do I attack here? It removes. I mean, might be correct, but they could have that. They could have like expel. I don't know. It's just not worth it. I'm too far on the back foot. There's too many corner cases, I think, to make it not worth it. I'm like 10% to win, maybe worse. Hmm. Nice. Worst draw on the deck. Solid. Nice. GG's. Well, it's okay. I mean, game one kept an iffy hand. Opponent had a strong draw with the 3/2 menace thing that I couldn't kill. I also just didn't cast my Mind Rot, but I don't think that determined the game, but still, it's just loose. Game 2, we smashed them. Game 3, if I had not boarded this shitter in, and instead it was that +2/+2 lifelink, like maybe I win this game. So, I mean, I don't really know if I can like learn from that. Maybe I just won't do it again. I think this card generally just sucks. And maybe I got too cute trying to board it in, but I think our opponent's deck is solid. Also, game 3, we mulliganed. Didn't have black mana in our first hand. We are playing 9/9 for sources. And our opponent, you know, just solid. Can't argue with any of their cards. So, GG's, it happens. I'll kick it off with an 0-1. Alright, join me for round 2.